You a procrastinator? Are you that person? It's like you're full of ideas and you just don't execute on anything. Are you sitting here watching YouTube videos and you have this massive to-do list, or maybe you're procrastinating on maybe making your to-do list and you're thinking, I have all these things I need to do for my business or for the business I want to start, and I just am not doing them. Guess what? Lots of people are procrastinators. However, they have figured out the 3 top secrets to navigating procrastination and getting things done. My name is Susan Sly. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been teaching entrepreneurship for decades, and I want to welcome you to this channel, Raw and Real Entrepreneurship. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. I have new videos coming out every single week. Hit the like button on this video and comment. Please comment. I'm the one who's going to interact with your comments. This channel is designed to provide you with raw and real tips for building a business, growing a business, and even investing in businesses. Why? Because common sense seems to be rare these days, and that's what this channel is about. It's about common sense. So I want to jump in. What are the 3 secrets to stop procrastinating? And the first one is very simple. Give yourself a deadline and be accountable. So what that means is thinking about a consequence. So if there's something you know you must do, what is the consequence of not doing it? So let's say, as an example, you are someone who's starting a business and you're like, I know that I need to start to, get an email list going, which means I need a CRM to be able to do that, a customer relationship management system. There are lots of good ones out there. We recommend Keep as one. And, and you're like, I know I need to do it, but it seems overwhelming and you're just not doing it. Well, what is the consequence of not doing it? So there are 2 ways you can create a consequence for yourself. One way is just to understand what the opportunity cost is. So every day that goes by that you're not executing on something, how much money is it costing you? And I was teaching this class, and it was my Organize Your Life class, which I used to teach live. And I have a book called Organize Your Life, which you can get on Amazon. And I was teaching this class, and I had my students, I said, how many of you procrastinate? Almost 100% of them are putting up their little virtual hands. And I said, I want you to take a minute, literally 60 seconds, and I want you to think about how much money you lost in the past year by procrastinating. And I'll ask you the same thing. How much money do you think you've lost by procrastinating, not executing on your idea, not following up on your sales calls, not getting your product or service out to the market? How much money has procrastination cost you? And I want you to think about that. So if you're like me, when I start to deal in numbers and I look at the consequence, that is one way I will not procrastinate. Some of you need something even more. So what is another consequence that you could have? So you can even do things like bringing in your kids or your grandkids, and you can say, listen, I'm going to sit down for an hour and I'm going to do follow-up sales calls. And if you see me not physically making a phone call, yes, you should physically talk to people or not talking to another human. For every time you catch me, I'm going to give you $20. There is the consequence for you. So I want you to think about some creative ways you could give yourself consequences for the procrastination. And if you cannot self-impose consequences, then the thing I want to say to you is you might need to get some help, because procrastination isn't just something we joke about. On the highest levels of procrastination, people are dealing with some pretty traumatic things. Even if you are coming out of a place where your procrastination means you haven't filed your taxes and there's a big consequence there, or your procrastination means you're in a toxic business relationship, you haven't unwound that, there's a big consequence there. And that level of procrastination, again, you do need some help. This isn't something clearly you've been able to get out of yourself. And that's where even a business coach, a consultant, even an attorney can help you start to make those decisions. Number two is to remove distractions. So if you are procrastinating, a great secret is to remove distractions by shifting where you're physically working from and work somewhere where there's no distraction. So my daughter, Avery, who is the social media manager at Agency 8, and she is helping to run that business. She's absolutely amazing. She works out of our kitchen because there are no distractions for her. There's no, there's no television. There's nothing else for her to do in there other than work and eat a little bit of food. So for you, maybe it's going to a co-work space where you rent it out maybe a couple days a week and there's nothing else there for you to do. It's really tough to procrastinate. Yes, of course, you can go on social media, you can do all those things. If that's a problem for you, the distraction, then go ahead. Uninstall the apps, do what you need to do in order to release the distractions to get things done, right? Your life is really, at the end of the day, this past year, I've lost a lot of people. My aunt, my uncle, one of my mentors, and one of my best friends. And at all of these funerals and virtual funerals that I went to, the number one thing the priest or the pastor or the family spoke about was this person's results, their contribution, the things they did. People are not going to talk about the things you didn't do as much as they will about the things you accomplished. And that's why I want you to think about very, very deeply. So removing yourself, putting yourself in an environment where you can get things done, that's key. The third and final thing is to create something, an event that forces you to execute. And so what I mean by that is, let's say as an example, there's something for your business you must do. Put up your website, go and schedule the time with the person who's going to build your website. You need to do the CRM, go and schedule the meeting with the person who's going to do that for you. For myself, I have a new Learn on Demand that I am working on, and it's helping people just like you go from employee to entrepreneurship, or to be someone who's maybe had a business, but it's never really gotten to that level that you wanted it to get to. And so I have so much going on, working full time with the startup that I co-founded, speaking and doing all this stuff and being in school at MIT. And honestly, it's like, and being a mom. Oh my gosh. And so what I did is I scheduled the time with the videographer. And so that means I know that we've got that time. I've got to be prepared to shoot all of the videos for that class, which means I have to have the outline done and I have to have the modules, like exactly the content in every single module. And that forces me to execute. And I'm not a procrastinator by nature, but sometimes I will say, okay, this thing has a higher priority than getting my Learn on Demand done. And I can do it sometime. And the reality is there are millions and millions of people out there who need the common sense and the steps and the recipe about how to create a successful business, especially if they've never owned a business before. And I feel like there's so many ways that I can help people navigate all of the uncertainty that comes with starting a business. And so, yes, I have got to get that course done. So that's what I did. I booked the videographer, and that's how I am forcing myself to execute. So what could you schedule? The session with the business coach, the consultant, the accountant, the attorney, the bookkeeper, whatever it is, get it on the schedule. It's going to force you to execute. And at the end of the day, don't worry about perfection. Perfection is a form of procrastination. I'll say that again. Perfection is a form of procrastination. Don't worry about perfection. Sometimes, my friend, version 1 is better than version none. So with that, God bless, go rock your day, watch for new videos, drop a comment below, hit the subscribe button. And if this video has helped you in any way, shape, or form, like it and share it. With that, I will see you next time.